Have you ever found yourself stuck in the same thought patterns, unable to see a problem from a fresh angle? Or maybe you've wondered why you believe what you believe, without ever really examining it? That's where philosophy comes in. But here's the thing. Most people think philosophy is boring textbooks written 2,000 years ago that have nothing to do with their lives. The truth is, the right philosophy book can unlock your thinking in ways nothing else can. Today, we're counting down 5 philosophy books for beginners that don't require a PhD to understand, but will absolutely rewire how you see the world. Let's start with number 5, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world, a Roman emperor. And yet, every single day he sat down and wrote personal reflections about how to live well, how to handle anger, how to accept things outside his control. He never intended these writings to be published, they were just his private journal. But what's fascinating is that 2,000 years later, millions of people still read them, because the problems he wrestled with are the exact same ones you face today. Anxiety about the future, frustration with other people, the weight of responsibility, the fear of death. Meditations teaches you a framework called Stoicism. The core idea is simple but powerful. You can't control what happens to you, but you have complete control over how you respond. That's it. That distinction alone changes everything. Readers often say this book hits differently when you're actually stressed or facing a real challenge, because Marcus Aurelius writes like someone who understands struggle firsthand. This book is especially good for you if you tend to catastrophize, get angry easily, or feel like life is happening to you rather than you directing it. Number 4, The Problems of Philosophy by Bertrand Russell. If Meditations is about living well, this book is about thinking well. Bertrand Russell was a British philosopher and mathematician, and this book is his answer to the question, why study philosophy at all? Most people assume philosophy is useless because it doesn't give you concrete answers. Russell flips that completely. He argues that philosophy isn't about finding definite answers. It's about learning to think for yourself instead of just accepting what you're told. The book teaches you how to question assumptions. It shows you that things you take for granted as obvious might not be obvious at all. For example, he challenges the idea that the physical world we see is the only thing that's real. He doesn't give you a definitive answer, but he teaches you how to think about it carefully. This isn't a thick academic tome either. It's genuinely accessible and short. Readers often say it's like having a mentor gently push back on your certainties and show you how much you don't know. And that's actually the point. This book is perfect for you if you've realized you accept a lot of beliefs without really thinking about why, or if you want to become a more independent thinker. Number 3, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. This one is different because it's part memoir, part philosophy. Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. In this book, he shares his experiences in concentration camps, but here's what makes it profound. Instead of just describing the horror, he reflects on what kept him alive psychologically. What he discovered is that meaning is what allows humans to endure suffering. Even in the worst circumstances imaginable, people who had a sense of purpose, a reason to live, were more likely to survive. He developed a therapeutic approach called logotherapy, which is based on the idea that our primary motivation in life is to find meaning, not pleasure or power. The book explores 3 ways to create meaning: through work or creativity, through relationships and love, and through how we respond to suffering we can't change. Readers say this book is a gut punch of clarity. Many people pick it up expecting a heavy Holocaust account, and instead find a life-changing argument about what actually matters. This is essential reading if you're going through a difficult period, if you feel like your work or life is meaningless, or if you've ever wondered what's really worth living for. Number 2, Sophie's World by Joe Stein-Gardner. If the other books on this list feel serious and philosophical, this one is a novel. It tells the story of a teenage girl named Sophie, who starts receiving mysterious letters that teach her the entire history of Western philosophy. The genius of this book is that it makes abstract ideas concrete. You don't just read about Socrates asking difficult questions. You follow Sophie as she questions her own reality. You don't just study Descartes, ideas about mind and body. You explore them alongside Sophie as she tries to figure out what's real. The book works on 2 levels. On the surface, it's a mystery. Who is sending Sophie these letters? But underneath, it's a complete introduction to every major philosopher, from the ancient Greeks to modern times. And here's what readers consistently report. They finish this book feeling like they understand philosophy not as a collection of facts to memorize, but as a conversation about the deepest human questions that connects us across centuries. It's engaging, it's surprising, and it actually makes you think. This book is perfect for beginners because it doesn't assume you know anything, and it's genuinely hard to put down. Number 1. The Republic by Plato. Yes, this is an ancient text. Yes, it's often taught in universities, but here's why it deserves the top spot. It's the foundation. The Republic is a dialogue between Socrates and various Athenians about justice, the ideal society, and the nature of reality. The reason it's so important is that Plato introduces ideas that have shaped Western thought for 2,400 years. He talks about the theory of forms, which suggests that the physical world we see is just a shadow of a deeper reality of perfect eternal ideas. He describes the allegory of the cave, where prisoners are chained in a cave and can only see shadows on a wall, which they think is all of reality. When one prisoner escapes and sees the real world, he realizes everything he thought he knew was an illusion. That allegory alone will make you question what you think you understand about the world. The Republic also explores fundamental questions. What is justice? How should society be organized? What makes someone truly educated? These aren't abstract puzzles. They directly connect to decisions you make every day. Readers say that reading this book, even in a modern translation, feels like overhearing a brilliant conversation that's still relevant thousands of years later. Many people start with translations like the one by Benjamin Jowett or Desmond Lee, which are written in more accessible language. This book is for you if you want to understand the roots of Western thinking, if you're ready to have your assumptions challenged, or if you want to join a conversation that's been going on for millennia. So here's what ties all these books together. They're all invitations to think differently. Meditations teaches you to control your reactions. Russell teaches you to question your assumptions. Frankl teaches you that meaning matters. Sophie's World shows you that these ideas are part of your story. And Plato gives you the original questions that still haunt us. If you pick up just one of these books, you'll notice something shift in how you approach problems, conversations, and decisions. Philosophy isn't about getting the right answers. It's about learning to ask better questions. And once you start asking better questions, you can't unsee the world the same way again. All of these books are available wherever books are sold, and links to them are in the description below. Which of these sounds most interesting to you? Drop a comment and let me know which one you're going to read first. And if you found this helpful, hit subscribe so you never miss a recommendation for your next